Hi everyone, this is Bethany Barker. I want to welcome you to my course. The course that I've created for this class is a orientation for incoming graduate teaching associates in the Department of the School of Communication here at Ohio State. And what we're doing for our first module, which is what I want to show you, is a little scavenger hunt on getting to know Carmen. This idea, I will say, is not originally my own. There used to be a blog post on the Digital Union with a professor who did this for her courses, and I thought it was a really great idea, so I kind of simplified the idea for our own purposes and created my own version. I was originally showing you this in the student version, and then I found that in order to show you everything I wanted to, it's going to be a lot easier to do it in the instructor view. So we are in the instructor view right now, so all of this actually is not going to show up to the student, and you'll see why here in just a second. But we start with our first module, Module 1, in this file, and it just tells them a little bit about what Carmen is and why we use Carmen and how. And also gives them the opportunity to learn more about Carmen as an elective in the UCAT teaching orientation, and then also gives a link to the Digital Union for one of their more in-depth workshops on Carmen, because this is really just kind of a quick introduction to Carmen and something we hope is a little bit more fun for them to get to know the system. So once they've actually read through this, what it's going to do is I've added a release condition, and you'll see it here when I click on the next item. The release condition takes them to our next item, and that's the scavenger hunt quiz. So they'll be able to come down here, and the quiz will be able to open. So in the student view, they may see that there's a quiz, but they're not going to actually be able to take it. What I've done is each thing has a release condition, so this is Module 1 Carmen. When I set up the quiz under restrictions, there's a place where you can add release conditions. It's really easy to do, and it's really, let me see here if I can go to, this is what it kind of looks like. You can browse different release conditions, you can create a new one. Browse only works if you have existing release conditions. So creating a new one, all you have to do is click and then set your condition type. So in this case, our release condition was that I wanted them to visit content. So content topic visited, and then if you click on that, it brings up all of our different content that they would have to visit. So I use Module 1 Carmen. I won't click on it again because it identifies it as an existing release condition. So it just kind of confuses Carmen, so we won't do that. But as you can see here, I'm going to re-click on the quiz to kind of load this. So what they have to do then, we've created a little quiz for them. The quiz is really just 3 questions, and they're pretty simple questions. Things like, what department are you in? So they're questions that they have no problem answering. It might be even kind of funny as they go along through this. And then once they get a 3 out of 3, which hopefully they do the first time with questions that easy, then the next item will open. So there's a release condition on each of these items. For the Dropbox will not open until the quiz they've received equal to or 100% on the scavenger hunt quiz. We're doing it this way because then they have, first of all, no choice in which order to participate. It's not overwhelming. They know there's one task at a time and they keep going. So it is kind of like a little scavenger hunt. You have to do one thing before you move on to the next. So in this, we're asking them write a brief paragraph about what makes them the most nervous about starting the graduate program at OSU. This is really great for us as who are leading the orientation, because we A, get to know what it is that they're scared of, and then B, get to know a little bit about them, and we'll have the opportunity to talk to each of the GTAs kind of one-on-one through this. So once they finish with the Dropbox, the next item is the scavenger hunt post. And again, they have to have submitted to the Dropbox before the discussion board opens. So to complete the scavenger hunt, they have to post the following information: their name, whether they're going to be in the MA or the PhD program, the institution they're coming from, hometown, and at least one more thing they want people to know about them. They can't post anonymously, And I don't have any approval required. Hopefully everyone keeps it pretty clean. If not, I will be reading the board and we can amend things. But this is their way of introducing themselves, meeting Quality Matters Standard 1, and it's also kind of a more fun way to introduce themselves as a part of this kind of game that they're playing. So the next thing they need to do is take the scavenger hunt survey. So they have to answer the following questions. The questions on here are things like, a Likert scale, I feel confident that I can use all of the tools that I have been doing in this orientation thus far. And I think we have an open-ended question. This is something else maybe that I want to know before we continue. So that way we kind of have an idea of, are they mastering this? And then also, is there anything else they feel they need? And at the end of this, then they've completed really the basic items that we're going to have them using in Carmen, and then they move on to the congrats screen. And with the congrats screen, it tells them, hey, that's great, you completed the scavenger hunt. Then it tells them a little bit more about the Carmen items that we're not necessarily using in the hunt, and then it walks them through a little Carmen help tutorial. So if you have any questions about the scavenger hunt or any questions about my course in general, I can be reached at barker.332, and I look forward to seeing all of you at our meeting.